All right, ladies, gentlemen, gamers, welcome back. Welcome back to. I mean, this is already going to be all over the place, but let's just call this one another Chris Allen recap. I have no clue which one we're on, but it doesn't matter. I just made some corn. It's currently Sunday, the second day of 2022, and I thought I would check in, come here, and go over some things. Over some things because I haven't made a little video just talking about stuff for a while now. Not much has really changed, except some fears I've had. But as you might notice from the thumbnail, this guy is going to work. I don't really know why or how he's like flying or he's just jumping really high up. I don't really know. But you can see in his face, I mean, I took it as he's happy. He might be really under duress, honestly. I don't know. He's looking a little crazy, but I searched up happy going to work and this is what came up. So, I'm the exact opposite of this picture. I'm very sad going to work. And in general, I've been doing a lot of thinking, as I usually do, and much to my detriment. uh, I feel like I've gotten to the point where now it's been almost a month, about a month since I've started the job. I started the job, I believe, December 6th, and now I've, almost been here about a month. And what is happening is kind of my worst fear, and I'm going to describe about that. I'm going to describe it and say what's happening. So, one of my worst fears is getting complacent, right? Now, aside from all the other problems I have, the one big thing I do not like is doing nothing. Albeit, that's most of what I do, depending on how you look at what I do. Most of what I do is nothing. Now, are we talking about actual nothing? No. I'm not sitting here and staring at the wall. Although that is sometimes what I do at my job, I don't do it at home. But when I do it at my job, I get upset anyway. But, I don't mean actual nothing. I mean nothing to improve my situation. I'm a person who always wants to be moving forward. Now, despite me saying that, that's completely divorced from my actions of playing games all day, which in my opinion is almost next to nothing. Like, that's basically me doing nothing. Me playing games all day and having whatever fun I can doing that is basically nothing. Now, going to the job and getting what little money I can is better than playing games from a purely financial standpoint. I mean, I'm gaining money. I'm not some popular streamer, hopefully yet, fingers crossed. But we'll talk about that too. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't like the idea that I'm gonna be stuck in this place for very long. I don't like a lot of ideas that I've been thinking. I'm just generally unhappy with my position, and it's made me question, okay, what can I do to get out of it? And the simple answer is anything. I could do anything, and probably doing anything would be better than what I'm currently doing, which is nothing because I'm just playing games. I thought I was going to research stuff, and I still could. I guess just general fear is going into it, because I was thinking of doing accounting, but that would involve going back to school, and I really, really dislike school. I really don't want to go to school to become an accountant. But, who knows, maybe I don't need it. Maybe to pass the time and waste my time in a more productive way, although I still feel like it would be wasting my time because I'm not going to go fully through with it, is maybe getting an accounting, or get an accounting textbook, and maybe read that while I'm at the job. Although, this is the main overlying thing. It's, unless I want to do something, I won't do it, or I really have no push or drive to do it. The push or drive of money is not enough for me. While I do want more money, it's not a big enough incentive for me to do something I really dislike or have no interest in. And it's really, really hard to do something when I have no interest in it. Now, if there's a benefit in it, I'll do it, but I won't do it like 100%. I won't put my back into it. So while I could buy a accounting textbook and research it, I feel like because I don't care about the subject, I won't really push myself to really learn it and remember it. And if I'm not using it every day, I'm the type of person to forget it. I mean, hell, I took Italian for 8 years. I don't remember most of that stuff, but regardless. So it's made me question, yet again, it always goes back to the same question of what do I want to do? If I had all the money in the world, I would just want to play games all day, because then I would have the time to do that. Because when I'm given time, I'd just play games all day. Now, granted, that's kind of changed over the years to what games I want to play and why I want to play them. I always have to have a reason for everything. But regardless, I'm still sticking in the realm of games. I mean, hell, I just grinded out well over 12 hours of League in the past, like, well, maybe yesterday. I think I might have played 12 hours. If not, I was nearing 12 of League. And why? Because I was grinding for tokens. Why? Because I needed to finish the pass to get skins. Why? Because I wanted to. I easily sat there and played League for that whole time. Mind you, I did get winded, but I did that like nothing. Like, if I needed to go more, I maybe could have done even more. And I do that shit every day, and I don't get paid for it. If anything, it's financially a detriment to me. And I'm still able to do it. Why? Because I like it. I'm really, really jealous of people who not only know what they want to do, because that's the first half of the battle. The second half of the battle is actually being able to find a way to actually do it in real life and live off of it. Which brings me to streaming. So, I've gotten, let's just say, a lot of comments and constructive criticism about my streaming, and there was always a duality here because I have had streams before where I've had more than 5 viewers, and I've had streams where people have hosted me randomly because I said it was my birthday, which it was, I didn't lie, or because of some reason or other. And when that happened, I got very scared. So first of all, the first thing in my mind is, if I even was a successful streamer, which I don't even think I can be, but again, we'll get into that. Could I handle the pressure? I honestly don't know. I'm a person who I like to be as honest as I can, but I feel like obviously everyone changes when put under certain circumstances, especially ones they don't know. And I'm a person who tries not to change, but it's very, very hard when, all of a sudden I have 30 viewers from someone hosting me. And I'm not talking about this happening every day. I'm talking about the times in the past it has happened. When I get hosted for like 30 viewers, or, God forbid something greater, or God willing, I get very like scared, like, oh shit, what do I do to keep these people entertained and stuff? And then it goes to the question of why stream, right? Obviously, I'm a big proponent of people should do whatever they want, with some stipulations. As long as you don't infringe on other people's right to freedom, and you don't inflict on pain on others. Pain on yourself is a little bit of a wishy-washy subject, which I won't get into because it's complicated. But for the most part, I think people should have general autonomy and do what they want to do, as long as it doesn't interfere with others. So, if a person simply wants to stream, they can stream. They should stream. They should do what they want. I don't think it's affecting anyone else. The problem is, do they want to become famous? Now, when I started streaming, obviously I wanted to become famous. Who doesn't? Who doesn't want to stream and not make, money off of it? I mean, it comes out now when XQC and all these other people at the top of Twitch make, how much money and stuff. It's like, okay, this is ridiculous. I wish I could do this. Because then I'd do so much other stuff with that money and just be set for life and be a lot more happier than I am. But would it solve the problems I have? Not really, no. But that's just money in general. Money won't solve all your problems. It will just create new, different problems. I don't know if I'll ever get to the point where I won't have any problems. I was thinking I wanted that, and, who doesn't want that? But I don't know if that's realistic, because everyone's going to have problems. If you're rich, you're going to have problems. If you're poor, you're going to have a lot more and different problems, but you're going to have problems no matter what. And a big thing that I've been trying to do is trying to either A, cope that I'm going to have problems no matter what, or B, just cope with my situation, which I never wanted to do, because I feel like once I accept the situation I'm in, I'm just going to stay in it. because that I know how I am, and it's really hard for me to change how I am, but it is how it is. But back to streaming. So I obviously started streaming because I thought, hey, it'd be nice to get famous. It would feed my ego and everything, but it would just generally be nice to have people watching me and interacting, and it'd be fun. I'd like it. But the problem is, why would people watch me? I know why I'd want people, because I think it's fun. I think it could create a better atmosphere. But the whole question is, I can stream, but do I want to get famous streaming? And then, if the answer is yes, can I do it with what I'm doing now? And from what I've heard from everyone, and obviously what's been happening throughout the years that I've done this, the answer is still no. No, I can't. But then the question becomes, why do you stream? And again, part of it is to get famous, but another part of it is just documenting. I like documenting when I play things. I just like it. I like the idea that what I'm doing and the way I'm doing it, specifically how I want to do it, can maybe one day be enjoyed by more than just, my little group. Maybe one day I can have viewers. I like that idea. But even regardless of that idea, I also like streaming just to have a log and record of things. If I get no viewers for, the rest of my life, however long that may be, I'll be a little upset, yeah, but I'll still continue to do it. I mean, look at me now. I'm making these videos talking to myself in this room and expecting no one's going to see this. I mean, my whole hope if people do see this is that, they enjoy it or they can garner something from it that might help them. I do believe that I can be helpful, or I want to be helpful in some way, although I don't think there's many ways. But regardless, those are the reasons that I like to stream. I just like to have a record of things. I like the off chance that what I'm doing, the way I'm doing it, maybe could get me famous, even if it's a 0.00001% chance, or even lower. I don't know. And I like the fact that if I do get famous, I can live off what I like doing every day for free. Those are the main three reasons. Now, if I wanted to just get famous, then I would have to do streaming a lot differently. And the whole question becomes a cost versus... Well, I don't know if it's a cost versus, ends basis, but am I willing to sacrifice what I like doing for a certain amount of time in the hope that I get some success to then go back to what I like doing and hope to retain the audience? I don't know. Because I personally, being the person that I am, very realistic, but towards the negative side. I don't think I'll get viewers doing anything I'm doing. So it's like, if I try and change what I'm doing, I'm not going to like it. And why stream something I don't like to do in the first place? It doesn't make sense to me. Because I've gotten suggestions on, okay, you should change this, you should do this, you should do that. And most of the time I'm like, no, I don't want to do these things because I don't feel like it's me, and or I don't want to or like to do those things. Even though it might get me famous. It's like, what are you willing to do for fame? And for me, I don't know. Because again, I don't even know if those things would give me fame, which I'm not going to go into now because that would make this way too long. But it's like, how much are you willing to change to get what you want? It's like, do the ends justify the means? Or I guess there's do the means justify the end? I'm not sure which way that goes. But anyway, this is already, going to be as sloppy as it is. Basically, I wanted to always, if I was going to get famous off streaming, do it my way. I don't want to do or copy other people. I don't want to do these things that other people tell me. I wanted to get famous being me and doing what I like. And, I know in the forefront of my mind that's pretty much not going to happen, but there's always a hope. Now, on the topic of hope, as I said before, one of my worst fears has come true, or is coming true. I'm getting complacent. As much as I hate this job, over time you get used to things. And again, I really don't want to get used to my situation, but I am. So, at this point, I hope that something happens in the future to either change me, which I don't really think is going to happen, or some other external event is going to happen, like maybe COVID shuts down my job, or I get a promotion or I get something else and I get a lot of money and I grind it out for a couple of years, or maybe, I don't know, I for some reason have a viral clip or I pop off or something. Who knows? Or maybe my friends help me out. Maybe they get like a winning lotto ticket and they pass that shit towards me a little bit. But regardless, I have something I've never really had most of my life, and that is hope. Although it's hope in a really sick and twisted sense. All I have left is hope, in a way. I always, and my friend group knows this well, I always said, I know how my life's gonna be. It's gonna be sucky. I mean, I'm gonna, grow up alone, not really do much with my life, just let it fizzle out and die. No, regardless of how much potential I think it has or others think it has, I really thought it was just going to be one way, and I still do think it's going to be that way. But back then, I was dead set on it being that way, and I was trying to accept it. I was trying to accept, like, okay, I'm going to work some really bad, well, not really bad, but like bottom of the barrel, low end, really low paying job that's not going to fulfill me, which, surprise, surprise, guess what I'm doing now. But this is going to be the rest of my life. I'm going to be alone, which I've pretty much... Well, I'm in the process of accepting these things. You can't really say you accept it if you don't like it. I'm not sure if that's true, though. But basically, I think my life is going to go these ways. Although I don't like it, I think realistically this is how it's going to go, at least in my warped view. So I think I'm going to have a bottom-of-the-barrel job. I'm going to be alone, and eventually I'm just going to live my life, however long that is, pretty miserably, and try and find what little fun I can here and there from either eating food or watching shows and stuff. But a majority of it is going to be boring and unfulfilling and, unhappy. And I eventually just die. Hopefully, saying it out loud in the way I've always imagined it, hopefully quickly so I don't have to go through that stuff. But, I now am holding out to some sort of little hope that maybe something can change, and that's kind of what's driving me forward a little bit, that something's going to change, because I always say this. I always say this. Give it time. Give it time. It might get better. It might get worse. Me being the pessimist that I am, I always think it's going to get worse, which doesn't help. But maybe there's a small chance anything from anywhere comes in and improves my situation. Now, I'm a person who, if I don't get what I want, I try to work hard to get it. But in this case like this, I feel like what I want is so complicated, and I don't even really know what I do want. Because do I want to get famous off Twitch or YouTube or anything? Then I would put, different sorts of effort than I'm doing now into it, which some would argue I'm not putting any effort at all, which I would disagree with a little bit. I would say streaming as much as I do is putting in, some sort of effort, but putting in a different type of effort where I do content I've never really done, and I stick to that. I stick to playing games I don't know. I stick to this, I stick to that, of doing stuff I never wanted to get famous off of or for. But there has to be some sort of a middle ground. Maybe I'll find that. Maybe I'll even try it out soon. Who knows? I'm thinking I won't, because I don't know what is with me, but I'm just against change in general. But I have a small hope that maybe something in the future will change, although that hope also might fizzle out as time goes on, because the more I see how the life is going, I mean, again, it's not bad when you compare it to things, right? But we as people always want more than where we're at, right? For instance, a lot of people, I think in general, just throughout human history, right, the most they wanted was to have peaceful times where they wouldn't get clubbed by their neighbor in the middle of the night trying to either steal their wife, steal their food, or just, have their shits and giggles and just club them to death for whatever reason. People wanted peace, people wanted food, people wanted shelter. They wanted basic human things, right? And I think a lot of people growing up with what they did in our human history would be content with what I have now. Most of us have generally, and it depends where you are, generally peaceful times, shelter, and food. I mean, hell, I don't think anyone in the United States has died from starvation because we have so much excess food. The health effects of that food, that's to be determined. But in general, I have the bare minimum. But that is not something that I've ever had to struggle for, although I am worried about it for my future. At least not the food part, but everything else, the shelter and peace. But in general, because it's not something I ever had to seek out, I don't factor it into what I want for my life. And I feel the older, I mean, I think everyone feels this, but the older you get, the more time's running out. And I don't know how long my life is. I thought it was going to be a certain way, and I still think it is going to be a certain way. And I thought in the past I could accept what that was. Even though I didn't want it to be that way, I was like, okay, I have no choice but for it to be that way. I still feel like that's the case. It's just now I have hope that something might change it. Hopefully. I'm just hoping something will change. I feel like it's very stupid to say that too. Because it's like, oh, why hope on, like, essentially nothing when you can just get up and fix your life and do better? Because that's what I've always done. When faced with any problem in my life, for the most part, I'm the person who tries to solve it immediately. Like, okay, I get a problem from school, I get a project, I get this, I get that. My mind instantly goes to work trying to think of how to beat it. How to, like, solve it, how to just do it. What do I need to do? How do I need to do it? What's the timetable for doing it? And I get it done. I'm the person who, when I have a problem, I don't leave it for another day. I try and solve it right then and there. But this problem of what I'm going to call life in general has been so complicated for my mind because it involves me, and I don't apply, I'm not that in tune with logic. Let's just say that. I'm very illogical with the things I do, so it's like my mind can't figure out how to solve my problems because it involves me. Stuff not involving me, I feel like, is very easy. Even like stuff involving me that's very simple, like, okay, I don't like the way I look. To a certain extent, I have to realize I can't change it, which I have. I'm pretty content with how I look. That the stuff that I can change, my face structure, my height, it is what it is. But the weight stuff I could change, there's an easy solution to that. Exercise and eat better, which I've been trying to do. I mean, hell, right now my dinner is just straight corn right now, before my slow cooker is done. But, when there's an issue, and it's not, completely hard to solve, which things with me usually are, I solve it pretty readily because there's a clear path and system to do. And again, the main issue I guess I'm going back to is I just don't know what I want. And I'm not gonna commit to something unless I really am interested in it or I know what I want. And the problem with streaming is, okay, then why don't you commit to streaming? It's like, that's not how I want to stream. It's like, how when you're a kid and you always think like, oh, I want to be an astronaut when I go to space. When you're a kid, you're thinking, oh, being an astronaut just means going in the rocket and going up to space and dancing around on the moon and, having fun. And then when you grow up and you try and be an astronaut, you realize it's probably very rigorous. There's a lot of tests and stuff. It's almost, well, not almost. It's pretty different than how you imagined it. I had an idea of what I thought streaming was, and I think it still could be that. Because streaming at the end of the day, by pure definition, from what I think it is just you streaming. It doesn't matter what you're doing, you streaming is you streaming. You're putting it on the internet. Whether people like it or not, that's, I think, I don't want to say if it's a successful stream, even though if you're basing it off the metric of views, then yeah. If people are viewing it, then it's a successful stream. But streaming is just making something and either live streaming it to the internet or putting it on the internet. Although there's some, more in-depth definitions you could put on that. But in general, I like streaming, but I like doing streaming my way, and I don't think there's a right way to do streaming unless you're looking for something. But even then, I don't know if there's like a right way. I mean, there's obviously certain ways to get famous as of right now. Some involving luck, some involving planned, I wouldn't say skills, but like planned events that you could do. And there's definitely a sort of formula to getting famous or getting viewers. But I don't know if I like doing that formula because I don't know if I even like doing the stuff involved with that. Like playing certain games. If I don't like a game, why would I play it? Now, I have really weird reasons for playing games, and I don't like to play too many games in general because I feel like I'm wasting my time for the most part. But I need a reason to play games. And the few games I do play give me those reasons. Mostly it's passes now, but in the past it used to be different. But regardless, I don't want to do something like different from that because it's like I don't want to stream like that. But then the question becomes again, it's a cost. Like how much do I want to sacrifice on the chance of I do get famous, then I could do what I want. I don't know. Because then my negative mind goes to I don't think it'll work. But now I'm just repeating myself. So anyway, basically to not make this go too long, I'm still sad. I'm still sad, and as time goes on, I'm accepting it more and more, and I don't want to do that, but I'm just a lazy as fuck person, and that's what's happening. And now I think my only hope of things changing, of my life being any different from how I expect it to be, or worse, because I pretty much always think for the worst. It's just, I'm hoping there's something that happens in the future. Not really a miracle, although a miracle would be greatly appreciated. It's just, I don't know. One of the hardest things to do in life is wait. And especially for me, when I just think everything's going to be negative, I really don't want to wait. I want to find some way to improve my situation now, but I just don't have the answer to one of the basic questions that will help me improve it. What do I want to do? Like, even with streaming, like I said in the beginning, I don't know if I really do want to be a streamer. I want the stuff that comes with it, but that's what I think everyone wants. I want, part of it is attention. Obviously, most people like attention. I wouldn't say everyone. And everyone wants financial security and just being able to do what they want every day. I want to be able to do what I want every day, but it really sounds like to me, saying it out loud, that I'm just not willing to put in the work to do it because I don't know what to put the work into. But regardless, aside from all this, I mean, I'm pretty decent. I've pretty much mellowed out for the most part. I'm just in a state of misery. Oh, the misery. But anyway, I mean, it's better than what it was before, where it was like jumps of just like sadness, bad thoughts, really bad thoughts. And like it was like spikes. It was like, okay, I'm level-headed. Okay, spike of sadness, spike of like worrying, spike of stress. Goes back down. Okay, I'm calm for like a couple hours. Then huge spikes of sadness. I don't like this. I hate this. Whatever. I don't know. I want my life to be a certain way. I just don't know how to get there. I don't know if it's possible to get there the way I want to get there. And then if I don't get there the way I want to get there, am I going to get there at all? Or am I just going to live an unfulfilled, unhappy life? I mean, I think so, yeah. But again, who knows? Maybe something will change. Maybe something will happen. I just really don't want to fucking go to work tomorrow. I wish I could just find something good to do, or like that takes up my time. I wish a lot of things. But anyway, let's end it here before I go too crazy. My slow cooker's about to be done soon anyway, so I'll see if my orange chicken ended out better than my peach cream cheese casserole. That was a disaster yesterday, but hey, here's to hoping to the future. Here's hoping 2022 will be better than 2021, because as I often like to say, my days are worse than yesterday, better than tomorrow. I believe that's correct, right? How's my day going? Because when people ask me that, I often say it's worse than yesterday, better than tomorrow. Yeah, because then it's just going down and down as time goes on. But anyway, yeah. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope someone garnered something from this, or it helps someone. Who knows? But I'm going to go check on my food. I'm out of here. I hope everyone